Hey, what's going on, dudes? So I was talking with talking in quotes with ChatGPT and Grok, and I was trying to figure out my play style and like what I actually like. What is it that really draws me into the game of Magic? And it's really this kind of stuff. I really like the stuff of disrupting our opponent's mana curve and disrupting their spells, their graveyards. They can't discard stuff if barricades out, stuff like this, like where we're kind of incrementally getting value over time. We're applying pressure to the board and to our opponent, but we're also controlling the game. And we also have a lot of instant speed interaction. So we're pretty flexible. We're able to deal with, stuff like the Jeskai deck because we have a lot of land hate. That's how we're going to get around the 4-color Jeskai deck, is we just beat up their lands. We also have a demo field here as well. We also have plenty of Get Lost so that we can deal with Unholy Annex, whatever enchantments and Planewalkers come out. And it's just like a really good removal piece against like bigger creatures. Avatar's Wrath is here to deal with like mono green Landfall or Selesnya Landfall or just anything else that's going to be really heavy on the board. I ignored this card for a really long time, and I think this card was made for me, to be honest, because like I said, I like to pressure the opponent while disrupting their stuff, and board wipes is a really, it's a thing that I like about the game a lot. You definitely need it in Standard. It's really good because we can keep our Hellkite out on the board and one of our other cards out as well if we would like. But even if we don't, even if we end up bringing these cards back into our hand, that's just more land destruction for us. It's more damage that we can do on like 1/1s that like Earthbent lands or Land of War Elves, stuff like that. It's also a way we can interrupt their turn again with Aven Interrupter. We can exile their graveyard again with Flanker. So it's a lot of recurring value with our own cards by bringing them back into our hand. And, a lot of these things have flash in order to be able to disrupt the opponent's turn. Same with Cathar Commando. This was a card that I kind of used as like a budget Get Lost or a budget. Yeah, I mean, basically that's what I replaced it back when I first started playing. And I really like this card. I like that we can target either an enchantment or artifact for 1 mana. We can flash it in on their turn. That's going to allow us to probably not kill the Unholy Annex or the Furdok Core on the turn this thing comes out, but if they have Unholy Annex down on turn 3 and then we hit their face for 3, we've already got 5 damage on them in total, so they're down to 15 already, and then we can break the Unholy Annex. So I think it's quite good. Getting that extra 3 damage in, I think really helps with our deck a lot, because although we're not an aggro deck, we really want to keep the pressure on our opponent. One thing we also have is Mazemind Tome. Our deck doesn't really have a whole lot of card draw, and Mazemind Tome is here to be able to scry through our stuff, and as I mentioned earlier, we can also scry with the Flanker as well. This acts as like a pseudo card draw, card selection thing that, again, applies pressure, but also gives us life, and the Scry 2 is just really good on this thing. I really like this card. I haven't really played it that much in the past, and it really is a card for me. I like it a lot. But, Mazemind Tome is still a really good way to scry, and it's an even better way to draw cards if we're in a control matchup. So most of the time, control matchups could easily counter something like this, but if we get this out on turn 2, and we just have this like passive thing on the board that's just constantly giving us card selection, card draw, and we even get 4 life off it eventually. It's just it's a really good card to have. Not quite sure if it's like the most optimal card in our deck, but it definitely gives us a lot of flexibility, and that's kind of what I'm striving for, right? That's why it's called Boros Tactics, is I want to be able to have ways to play around whatever I'm facing, and that's why we have a lot of cards with like multiple different, like Flanker is just perfect because it's got multiple different things to choose from, and Cathar Commando also has that flexibility. Get Lost can just target several things. Thunder Magic can scale on multiple different levels. I've actually been able to get the 8 damage off like a couple times already. And Erode as well, right? We only have 1 Erode because we don't want to give like Izzet or Landfall too many lands. Like, against Landfall, this card really sucks, but it could still be necessary sometimes. Against everything else, though, this card's amazing. It's really good. Seamrip to also counter Izzet as well for the most part, like just getting out, getting a Storm Chaser's talent off the board or something like that. Daydream is here to flash, like we have flashback on this so we can use it twice, but it's really here to continue the land destruction for the most part. But if we need to, we can also exile the opponent's graveyard, or if we just want to put a counter on something, it's good while we gain 2 life and scry. We've also got Stormslayer as like a big win condition, so if they're running a lot of removal, something that our deck would struggle with is maintaining the pressure, and Elspeth does a really, really good job at that, right? It acts as a removal spell the second it gets out, but it can also continually apply pressure just by creating tokens, so just really strong card. Hard to not run when you're playing white. I think it makes a lot of sense. I'm using it over the Boros Planeswalker just because of the removal ultimate aspect of Stormslayer. I just think that's really, really important. Ride's End is here to just have like a 2-mana exile effect. So sometimes there's those indestructible creatures like Godseeker, like that Orzhov card that's like built around. There's also that other card that's like a 3-color, 1 neutral, I think. That's like a 2/1. So I was running into those sometimes, so I put a Ride's End in here. This used to be a pretty popular card, but, you know, as the meta has shifted, it's kind of fallen off a bit, and right now I think it's maybe good to run these again if you're playing white. Just because you're not giving your opponent tokens, and you're also not putting something into the graveyard. You could also argue that Hellkite as a 1-of maybe isn't the right play. You might actually want to do like 2 of these, and drop one of the Magmatic Hellkites and put one more Nova Hellkite in. I just like this one only because of the land destruction. I want to really make sure that we're ready to match up against Jeskai, because I do think that if we don't have land destruction, we're kind of in trouble facing off against Jeskai, because our Avatar's Wrath aren't going to really be doing anything. They're going to have plenty of removal for Stormslayer, but it is a good card to have against that deck. And a lot of our creatures are very easy to kill. One thing, though, is that Crystal Barricade protects our smaller health creatures, right? Because we have a lot of, like, 1, 2, and 2 toughness creatures. Barricade does a really good job protecting us from things like Burst Lightning. Arguably, this is a better sideboard card, but I like that we're protecting a lot of these lower toughness creatures, and it was mostly here to not even do that. It was actually something I just wanted to have to play around Deceit. So if we go first and we put down Barricade, they can't deceit our us, because like they can't target the player, they can't target us, they can't target our hand. So it's a cool way to stop discard effects like Duress, like Intimidation Tactics, Deceit. I really like it, and it protecting our low health creatures is just another really good positive. I'm also running 1 Fountain Port and 2 Restless Bivouacs, so that way we can continually apply pressure, and you know, we can put counters on our Bivouac and it can scale later on in the game just as a finisher. This is really good to draw cards off Elspeth tokens, but also making fish is just a really good thing. Even just as like a 1/1 blocker, it's still really nice, and the treasure tokens can also be nice as well. And then we have a Quarry Mountains Monastery to help with card selection, card draw. I haven't really gotten able to use this yet, because most of the time we're going to be pressuring the opponent on the turns that you would usually use a Monastery in a control deck, so you could argue that you don't even need this, and I wonder if the Firebending land would be better, just so that you could use Maze Mind Tome and Thunder Magic. And then sideboard, we've got Authority of the Consuls if we're up against an aggro matchup. It was something I mainboarded for a bit, but I think we're just better off sideboarding it. And honestly, I'm not even sure if it's worth putting a slot, putting in to take up a slot in the sideboard. But I do like it. I also like just the effect of when they come in tapped, it means that our Artisan can just attack the turn he comes out, depending on how the turn order goes. I think that's kind of an underrated value of Authority is, you know, you can be more aggro off of Authority because they can't block. So I do like this card. I think it does make sense. We have another Ghost Vacuum. I'm not running Rest in Peace because I just feel like we have so much stuff on turn 2 that we want to be able to do. And we have a lot of ways to spend mana on like turn 2 and up. So I think Ghost Vacuum's a little bit better just to put down on turn 1 against graveyard stuff. And remember, we have 3 flankers, you know, so we can exile graveyards, but we definitely need something like Ghost Vacuum because this is not enough. Like, waiting till turn 3 and just hoping you can do it, so far hasn't really felt very consistent for me, so you might even want to drop Authority and put in another Ghost Vacuum, or if you really wanted to, you could run Rest in Peace as well. It's still a very great choice. I'm running a Devout Decree just because I really like these Foundation cards that are good against specific matchups. I feel like they're a little bit underused, and they are pretty good. Exiling a target Planeswalker that's red or black, that is going to cover pretty much all of the Planeswalkers that are a problem. So things like Dalian Fel and Ral, right? People like to play those right now. You can get rid of those. I see more Exile decks running that Boros Planeswalker that I talked about earlier, so you can get rid of that. You can get rid of Liliana, which is a very powerful Planeswalker. All the Chandras. There's quite a few Planeswalkers that this thing can target, and most of them are very strong. So, other than Elspeth Stormslayer and, like, Ugin, I think that's pretty much every Planeswalker that's, like, something you want to instantly eliminate. And obviously there's a lot of creatures that are black and red that you want to deal with, and the Scry 1 effect is just another good thing because, like I said, we don't have too much card selection and, like, card draws, so every little bit of that, like, Scry effect helps out a lot. Magebane Lizard is here to deal with Izzet. I was thinking about running the Foundations card. I forget what it's called. I'll put it up on screen, but the problem with that card is it's 3 mana, and we already have a lot of stuff to do on 3 mana, and against Izzet, 3 mana is not great. And even if we are able to get the Crystal Barricade out and then go into that card on turn 3, that is really nice. And I really like that, and that was one of the reasons I was running it, but I just think that you want something that can survive on its own and not have to rely on Barricade. And Magebane Lizard is definitely better at that than the other card. I can't remember what it's called. I have 2 Pyroclasms, which is a little odd. I think this is something you might want to get rid of. I mean, I think you kind of have to run these maybe against, you know, Badgers and whatnot, but just be careful because a lot of our stuff is just going to die against Pyroclasm. But if you do have your Barricade out, then you're totally safe. If you have your Barricade out and all of the creatures that are like low toughness, Barricade's going to protect the damage that's going to protect them from the damage of Pyroclasm. So Pinnacle Starcage, I've mentioned it before. I really like this card. It's really good against those discard decks. The discard Monument, like Mardu or Rakdos discard stuff. You just totally sweep the board. Like the entire board is gone, and including that like weapon artifact that they like to use. So really, really good card against those decks. Definitely worth running. Windcrag Siege is here. If we're up against a lot of removal, then we can run Windcrag Siege and just kind of every single turn we just get a token out. It also gets lifelink and haste, which is like really nice for us. Helps keeps us alive while applying pressure. This is like probably the closest thing to one of my favorite cards that I've talked about before, Urabrask Forge. So this is the closest thing you can get to it, I think. It's really awesome. I have a 4th copy of Avatar's Wrath to deal with Landfall. You could maybe argue a Judgment, but we just have too many creatures right now that that are going to be on the board at the same time, most likely. So I don't think you should run Judgment. I think you should just run a 4th Wrath. It definitely makes a lot of sense. And then Biza is just good against aggro. It just gives us a lot of different kinds of advantages. It's just another one of these things that fits the deck where it can do multiple different things depending on the situation. So Biza is definitely just a great card. So should you craft? I don't know if you want to craft the deck, like, and play the deck, but a lot of these cards are good. I mean, these are pretty, you know, if you're familiar with Magic lately in Standard, I mean, these are kind of like mostly the meta cards. I mean, at least some of them, right? You'll see a lot of these in meta decks, like Flanker, Interrupter, Hellkites right now are very much in the meta, I feel like, just as a way to counter Jeskai. Wrath is great, Stormslayer is great. Mazemind Tome you don't usually see too much of, but I do like that card. It is just a solid card. It's going to be in for a long time. This deck is, like I said, an attempt to explore my own playstyle and really try to make a deck around how I want to play. That doesn't necessarily mean that how I want to play is like the correct way to play in the current meta, because the current meta is extremely unbalanced. And, you know, we haven't had bans. For some reason, they didn't ban anything. So it's pretty insane. You know, they recognized Badger and Izzet are the problem, and then they said, we're just not going to do anything about it. So I think what they are going to do is just continually power creep the game. So that means that these kind of, you know, mid-range decks, I mean, they're still good. They're okay, but they definitely, you know, we're not running anything that's unfair, I would say, is the key thing. Like, these cards are pretty fair for the most part. So I'll show you guys some games, and have fun with the deck, guys. I really enjoy it. If you're the kind of guy that likes this sort of thing, I think it's for you, man. If you like that sort of tactical feel of a deck, then yeah, this is your thing, man. Good luck. No interaction, which kind of sucks. Like, maybe that is something the deck needs a little more of, just the way Standard is right now. I don't know, maybe we have enough of it. I just should have mulliganed. Alright, we can slow his hits down a little bit with this at least. Draw a card. That's kind of cool, by the way. I kind of like this card. Maybe we just get... I mean, we could get the flanker down next turn. I don't really know what we would do with it, though. I guess it's just one of those things that you just do just in case. I mean, exiling the graveyard is it's a little early, but it wouldn't be totally worthless. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Maze Mine Tome. Let's go Foundry just so I can draw from it. And we will Wrath probably this next turn, I'm thinking. What's so cool is that this is non-combat damage, so it's pretty good against those like fighting cards, because they don't really count as combat. They're not in the combat phase. But I don't know if we want to let them hit for 10. That is a lot. So I guess we just block one. Okay, not what we're really hoping to see. I think we want to... let's do some damage. Kind of want to put some pressure onto the board right now. And another... Okay, just a regular land. That's not bad. I can do that. That's such a good piece against the enchantment, but like we have to be able to find removal right now. Oh my god, bro, please. Okay, that'll work. Don't think we're gonna run into any haste stuff, so let's just attack. We're good. So far, other than the Hydra, he's probably going to have the Earthbending land that gives you... Or Earthbending enchantment. And probably the Earthbending land. That gives you trample. We gotta look out for that. I think we just Hellkite here. Nothing to target with, but let's go for it. Screw it, let's put the barricade down. Let's just get our stuff down. Might have to kill the Hydra sooner than what I would like. Yeah, we definitely do. And we can draw from Tome and be fine. Yeah, Elspeth's gotta die to kill the Hydra, sadly. And then we block Mikey with 1 token. We could kill Mikey. I think I like that. Alright, let's draw, see what we get. Get lost. Do we still sack? See, now that we have this, I think we get lost here. Make this, and we're good. I think that makes more sense. Because now if there's another Hydra, we stand a chance. Well, that's great. So an ooze. Let's stop the ooze. Because he's going to want to put counters on it. So we're just going to slow you down there, bud. Fabled Passage. Man, if he does get the insect to look at his graveyard for lands, we're going to be in a world of pain. Alright, well, he used it pretty early. I think he's got to have it, right? This card's getting so much value. I wanted to Seam Rip that earlier, but we had to get rid of some of his creatures. Just how it goes. That's why the card's so good, honestly. Because there's already so much pressure on the board. You can't really afford to, like, take a turn. Ooh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Perfect. Oh, we won anyway. We won anyway. Okay, cool. So he's just got counter spells up at the moment. Manifest Dread. Alright. Okay, I don't know what I'm up against. It's throwing me for a loop. Well, we know what this is. So, yeah. I think I'm fine with all your mana going down. That was kind of cool. Get rid of his starting town. The most flexible piece. I think I just attack. Because we don't know what this face down card is. A land. I kind of wish we were all in on the land hating thing, because this would be fun to go up against. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we don't have Pyro in the main deck, and this isn't best of 3, so we'll see how, I don't know. I'm a little curious what's going to happen here. I almost feel like I need to Aven Interrupter, but he's already got 2 of these guys down. No, let's get rid of starting town. I think this deck might need more card draw. Yeah, this sucks. I think I'm going to be forced to go Jeskai with this deck, because the Maze Mind Tomes just aren't enough. We have 3 of them, but it's just not enough. And even then, they're still too slow. I think we need to scry. We have to use our flanker as our... Ooh. What do we go for first? I didn't feel any priority. So more than likely, he's going to have a get lost or something. Let's just kill it. Put down our barricade. And we have enough blockers. But I guess we just want to make sure, right? Really no need to rush into things. Okay, block, 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 block. Or maybe block like this. Hopefully there's no trample. Alright, so I'm not aware of how disguise works. May turn it up at any time. Yeah, see, that's what I was worried about. That's why I didn't do that. Maybe we made the right move, I don't know. Hard for me to tell. Okay, this can attack now. And we can make more fish too. Get like 2 fish out with Fountain Port. Let's not have that happen. Ooh, yeah, that would have been crazy. So he's using, and I guess this is how you're supposed to use disguise and like face down cards, but he's basically using it to like ramp. Which is kind of cool. I'm not quite ready for that, man. I just don't know what you've got. I want to slow you down. Alright, good game. Would we have had him? Would we have had the kill if we did the other Avid Interrupter? That'd have been 3, 6, 10, 15. Yeah, we would have had him. Nice. He's white. Do we go Barricade? I don't think we do. That is one of the rough things about Barricade in the main board is there's times where... Ooh, what is this guy running? There's times where Barricade is just like, it's not gonna do anything. Alright, let's get our Commando out. Very thankful to be getting a Mountain. So... Or leaves the battlefield. That sucks. Yeah, Seam Ripping would not help us right now. Let's Crystal Barricade. so he has to use it on Barricade. Oh no. Alright, well. That worked out. I think we can just hit again. Oh, poor guy. He's just... How could he know? No one plays Barricade, you know? He could have read the card. That's true. Yeah, reading the card does explain it. Is he gonna do it again? Alright, on my Barricade. No way. Your opponent. What do you think just happened? Opponent, what are you doing? There you go. There you go. Alright. He did it. Oh my goodness, what was that? So I guess we just hold up Aven Interrupter? Yeah? Yeah, looks like that's a good idea. Yeah, let's just do that. I guess a get lost token would have been good, but I don't know what he's gonna do. I want to be flexible here. Alright. I guess we can get Lost Maze Mind Tome. Yeah, sounds good to me. And then he's only gonna have one token, which we will then, I think, Thunder Magic. Or we could Seam Rip it. That's true. A little worried about what these things could end up doing. Becomes an artifact creature. Well, he needs an artifact first. So, yeah, I think we can Thunder Magic. I think it's safe. Oh, we could have Hellkite. Ah, Hellkite would have been better. Warping Hellkite would have been perfect. This way we can hold up Aven Interrupter, I guess. Yeah, we messed up a little bit there. Okay. So, he's gonna do that. Do we just use this? I think we do. And just get rid of... I don't know if I want to get rid of the other one, but I kind of have to, otherwise he's going to use it on my Hellkite. And then maybe we abrade a thing here. Man, he got so many cards. Let's just draw. Okay, I would like a land. Man, we would be winning this turn if we had it messed up. Ay, ay, ay. What do we even do? Well, we could Hellkite, but I don't know if that's even like a good idea. I don't care about him crewing. He doesn't have a lot of instant speed stuff. Let's just Hellkite. Let's Hellkite. Man, this, not playing it earlier. I'm over it, I'm over it. I'm not going to keep bringing it up, but it was a big mistake. Even this Hellkite could be a mistake, because I feel like we've lost a lot of pressure. See, now he can just stun again. Getting a third one is kind of crazy. In like an above 60 card deck, you get your third one. That's kind of nuts. So he'll probably stun him. But stunning him means he won't stun my Hellkite. My other Hellkite. Yeah, never mind. So we can abrade that his next turn. A land is nice. So yeah, I think we do this. And then we're going to abrade the Aura Site on his turn. And then we'll have a double threat that can each of them kill him. Demo field. Scrawling Crawler. Not what I'm afraid of at the moment. Is he gonna craft and then use his dude? And it's not gonna matter. So if he somehow saves his Aura Site here... Okay, this isn't bad. I guess we should do it now. Now we should still wait. We should keep waiting. I don't think there's anything he can play at this point that's gonna like get in our way. This is going to get a little awkward because he could... Well, no, it's not. We're just going to aim for the demo field with our Hellkite. I don't think we even have a choice, right? But then if he uses it, it just doesn't even matter. It's going to be irrelevant. If he even plays. Maybe he's done. Man, he he really messed up. We messed up a little bit with our Nova Hellkite play. He messed up a lot by just not reading what Barricade does. And then using a Get Lost on Barricade was also kind of nuts. So Barricade value, I thought it was going to be a dead card. This matchup, turns out it like won me the game. Spell Pierce, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Well, I think we still just use Hellkite, right? Unless he has to Get Lost. That would be kind of crazy draw. Like I said, he's above 60 cards. Alright, nice. GG. Man, that was so funny. Alright, I wasn't recording, but just in case something cool happens, we'll keep this up. So he's going for a clip, by the way. He's just trying to get all of his creatures out in one go. Ugh, this is so frustrating. We just need the flanker. If we get the flanker, we're good. So we could let him Cavero. Imagine he just still doesn't go for the like killing move here, and we get a Nova Hellkite. Wow, he is so greedy for like no reason. I'm assuming he'll get an untapped land. Is there any way we could kill him next turn? We'd have to rely on purely Nova Hellkite. And if we get our Aven Interrupter down now, when it attacks... Yeah, he's being so greedy. That's really cool art for this card, though. Erode, probably... Like, us getting 5 damage is not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. And we have the Aven Interrupter. I'm just so curious. Like, is Aven Interrupter now the play? I don't think it is. Yeah, we get a Restless dude. Not great. But we can do a Avatar's, like, he's gonna use it on this guy. He's gonna have a lot of dudes out. That's his plan. That is his strategy. So we can take some damage here. It's not a big deal. That thing doesn't come in attacking, does it? That would suck. Alright, Aven Interrupter. Do you have a removal? Dude, he got so greedy, man. He went for the clip. This is Mythic, by the way, guys. This is Mythic. Alrighty. Maybe Maze Mind Tome to see if we can get another white or red land. Sounds pretty good to me. Jeskai, huh? Alright. I'm curious. Okay, we got the land we want. So let's demo field this dude. Oh, lessons. Alright. Island. This is not your typical Jeskai deck. Maybe it's not even Jeskai. No, it is. Alright. I think we're good on what we got. Restless could be good. Yeah, let's stick with Restless. He's got a counterspell up, most likely. Well, maybe not. He's got something to do on this turn. Let's take a risk. Let's take a chance. Let's get the Izzet. More accumulated wisdom. Wonder if he's running a 1-up each basic. That would be pretty good on his part to do, because I feel like Jeskai gets too greedy. Another island. That's odd. We might want to look for an Elspeth. Something that can win the game. Alright. Yeah, looks like we're good to go. Can Aven Interrupter. Quite curious what this guy's got, man. This is weird. Grand, okay. Flow state. Maybe we want to do this before he can get a counter. We probably should have waited, because now he might just grab another Grand. But if he does that, it's not the worst thing in the world. Maze Mind Tome. Seam Rip. I mean, he's got to have a counterspell at this point, right? Looks like we are just, like, doing good here. Let's hold up Interrupter. Took 2, wow. What's he doing? Deal 4. Okay. Combustion technique. Let's save our guy. And if he wants to counterspell this, we'll just have a Stormslayer come out. Man, Interruptor's perfect, because he already did damage with his other spell. Oh, wow, okay. So we get everything. We get to stop this. His other spell got completely wasted. And we get to Stormslayer. Alright, that was amazing. Okay. Interrupter value, man. That was awesome. The land destruction was good, also. It was good. It slowed him down. He's playing a interesting deck, like Jeskai Lessons. Respect to the opponent for just trying something on his own like that. I like that. He had Jeskai Lessons, right? Am I wrong? Yeah, I think it was just Izzet. So wait, we just beat an Izzet less. I've never seen Izzet run the Great Hall yet, but you know what? That makes a lot of sense. So we just straight up beat Izzet. Okay, we could have done that sooner. Excuse me. Well, that's not that bad.
To the next act.
Let's get rid of it now. Could even interrupter that. Not sure I want to though. Maybe I do want to. Alright. Huh. Power 3 stuff. Maybe we could go down the seam rip. Mostly green stuff, right? I didn't see any black. Really? Other than just removal? So if he's playing big on the removal, maybe we do go a couple of these. The Nova Halkites don't seem amazing. Avatar's Wrath doesn't really seem all that great either. Yeah, maybe this is it. Crystal Barricades are... Stop the crimes. Let's go with that. I really ought to find like a mute button for my mic or something like that, so that when I clear my throat you guys don't have to hear it. But for now you get the authentic clear throating audio. Throat clearing audio. That's a bit rough, but I think we just gotta keep it. These two are good. I'm just glad I'm up against someone not playing like a meta deck. It's fun. Okay, Elspeth is nice. Wonder if he's gonna get like intimidation tactics on now. That's what I would do. And he's got the colors for it. Let's do this. I think that Planeswalker was 4 mana, or am I wrong? I might be wrong. Oops. Hmm. 3 mana for that? I think we just gotta take the hit. Can't really artisan yet. Ugh. Okay, so it's... Yeah, that's actually a cool combo. Because there's nothing I can do. I can't interact with it. I don't know if I want to take 5, to be honest with you. Not sure I'm a fan of it. I like this. He is green, though. He should be able to remove that pretty easily. We'll see. Yeah, for more crimes? Okay. Pretty sweet card, man. I like that card. Yeah, now we just use Elspeth. It's gonna get instantly removed, most likely. But we're gonna give it our go.
I will turn the tide of battle. Peace.
I need to read this. Wow, that's pretty cool. So now we can artisan the cottage. That is super cool.
I welcome all allies.
And let's go ahead and do it. I wonder if he wants to use the Ghost Vacuum now, just so he can use Artisan. Okay.
Dark days lie ahead.
Yeah, once he removes all this stuff on his turn, we're gonna be in a really good spot. I think we could just chillax. I don't feel like we're being rushed right now at all. So he wants to get that. Yeah, I don't really care. Alright. I think now we can flanker. If he doesn't instantly do it. Okay, he does. Surveil 2, gain 2 life. So we can't interrupt it because it's already cast. Alright. I think that's how that works anyway, right? I think this guy's gonna be the main issue. He got a lot of life. This guy goes away after a while. Let's just get our Hellkite down, maybe? Oh, whoops. I didn't attack with my Hellkite. That's big. That's a big no-no. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. My bad. I still think we're gonna be fine, though. I guess he's not gonna have any sweepers, right? Destroy all creatures. There it is. There's the big one, I forgot. That's the biggest flanker I've ever seen, by the way. Yeah, okay, so we ended up having lethal there, that's sick. We would have definitely had lethal if we attacked with the Hellkite earlier, but that works.